So, while the SNP is busy having its conference up in Scotland, the Reclaim Party is having its conference in Laurence Fox's back room. And it's very interesting, actually. The Reclaim Party is a party of two: Laurence Fox and his buddy Andrew Bridgen, the Conservative MP who was disciplined and is now sitting as an independent. And they spent quite a lot of their talk, and it's all on YouTube, discussing the issue of excess deaths and whether or not any Parliament has actually discussed this around the world. Apparently, in the upper house of the Australian Parliament, there was a request for a debate taken seriously, but in fact, that led to a debate about whether or not the debate should take place, and it didn't. And Bridgen has asked for a debate repeatedly, an adjournment debate, and he was repeatedly denied this. And in the lottery to try and get a debate, he failed each time. But he was contacted by the Speaker's office shortly before the conference adjournment and told that there was a gap on Friday afternoon, Friday, October the 20th, and that he could have that. So he's going to speak for 25 minutes to half an hour in a half an hour debate, on the understanding that there will probably be nobody else in the chamber except for a token minister or semi-minister to read out a vague response, and the whole lot will be recorded in Hansard. So I think it is important to have these discussions about things that people don't want to discuss, about things that people don't want to debate. And while I am not a great fan of Andrew Bridgen in a general sense, I think it's important that there is somebody who is prepared to stick his neck out and say things that are not popular. I think the idea that we have a parliament that is so streamlined, what Bridgen and Fox are talking about, they talk about the unity parliament. They talk about the illusion of choice between Labour and the Conservatives. I think there is choice between the Labour Party and the Conservative Party, not least because Keir Starmer's party is not Conservative. But I certainly cannot imagine that I would rather vote for Labour if I'm not going to vote for the Conservatives. I don't see that choice as being genuine, and I was quite interested that, for different reasons, Andrew Bridgen and Laurence Fox come to the same conclusions. The conversation then moved on to the Middle East. There was some conversation about ULEZ and about Laurence Fox's experience on GB News. And Bridgen pointed out, Bridgen is he's a very solid MP, and when you see him even wearing mufti, he comes across as a routine constituency MP. He has that manner. But I enjoyed his comments very much, and I thought it was very interesting when he pointed out how the Middle Eastern debate has now taken over the front page and has shifted the Ukraine issue, the Ukraine conflict, off the front page. And the focus has shifted overnight, I think was the expression he used. I have very alarming reports, which I'm getting mostly from Russian and Ukrainian telegram posts, about the implicit support of the Russian authorities for Hamas, and at least some suspicion that Putin was, if not engineering the Hamas terrorist event, then certainly delighted when it took place. As I say, I'm not a fan of conspiracy theories, and I would be very cautious about what I said about all of this. Now, where else were we? Oh, there's a very interesting hint. A very interesting hint that Laurence Fox plans to create some sort of alternative to GB News, a free speech, a genuine free speech platform. And of course, that would be something that I would absolutely endorse. I don't mind whether people are left or right or simply vacuous, but I do want to want to know that there's a news channel or there's a channel of TV and there's a channel of radio that is going to engage in proper debate. It doesn't matter whether that debate is something whether the conclusions are something I like. The conclusions are a minor issue because the people who are engaged in these debates are not going to be making policy anyway. But we are going to be informing the policymakers, and that's the point. And if the debate is not being had in the chamber of the House of Commons, then the debate needs to be had in a television studio or a radio studio or in the pages of the media. The pages of the media are becoming increasingly limited to repeating the slogans which are picked up elsewhere. And there are few and far opinion pieces being printed at the moment, which is a great, great shame. There are some very good opinion pieces and some very good pieces of journalism in general, but not enough. And finally, I was very entertained that Andrew Bridgen, I hadn't realised Andrew Bridgen is based in northwest Leicestershire and in Ashby de la Zouch, which was the place that I used to go for lunch when I was a small boy at school. And I know Ashby de la Zouch very well and all those little places nearby, and Mount St Bernard Abbey just down the road. And I have great fondness for that area of Leicestershire. And, I wish Andrew Bridgen well as an independent, or rather as a Reclaim candidate at the next election, but I fear he will not be successful. But nevertheless, I was more impressed than I have been so far in his story by the video that they posted today. So congratulations, Andrew. Congratulations, Laurence. And I repeat my statement. I don't really approve of the position, the political positions that you're taking, but I think, fine chaps.